Hey guys, I thought that we could start something fun together this week, or at least I think it's going to be fun. I thought we could start going through the chapters in my new book, Reframe the Moment, and just going back to the reflections and talking about them a little bit. And I'd love to see where I'm at now versus where I was maybe when I wrote them. And I think it's appropriate to bring to the podcast because that's where they began. So each one of the essays in this book began from a Jen Zen episode. So I think it'll be fun to see where they started off as Jen Zen episodes and where they translated into the essays in the book, and then kind of like where I'm at now, because I already know that some of it I'm feeling different than I was when I even wrote the essay, let alone when I recorded the podcast or the Jen Zen episode to begin with. So you'll need to please excuse the glasses there so I can read better, and excuse the hair because it's a hair washing day. So my serums are currently working into my scalp at the moment. So, all right, we're starting with chapter 1 because I am the kind of person who needs to start with chapter 1. All right, chapter 1, becoming free. What would I be? Who would I be if I was truly free? I use this prompt as the starting point in my journey. Since that time, I've returned to it as a benchmark to take inventory and see if I'm on the right path. When I first reflected on this question, I didn't know the answer. To be honest, I'm not sure that I completely do yet, but it's becoming clearer all the time. This prompt is such a subjective one to start with because the first component is recognizing what it means to be free. Free from what? Life's demands, others' expectations, society's constraints, your own limiting beliefs. Can you already imagine and define who you would be or what you would be doing if you were in fact truly free? Maybe you already know. If so, then your journey is to become that person. Or maybe you're like me. I know that the answer is there somewhere deep in my soul, and my path is to discover the answer. Oh, that's really interesting because my path is to discover the answer. And I think that I'm there. Like, I have a really good vision and a really good assessment of where it is that I want to be. And I didn't have that when I started this at all. And I don't think I even had it a few months back when I translated into this essay. So I think that I am more on the, if I know, my journey is to become that person. Hearing these questions, my first thought was, had I been in fact free, whatever that does mean, I definitely wouldn't be who I am or what I am today. So I'm actually thankful that I had those constraints because I wouldn't want to change anything. The expectations placed on me by my family, the constraints from society, and even my limiting beliefs, they all brought me to who I am today. So I'm grateful. I've reached the point that it's time to grow. It's time to leave her behind. It's time to see myself for who I am without these expectations and limitations. I want to be free from the facets of myself and of my life that keep me from feeling free. You may feel the same. Maybe the controls that have kept you on track until this point were necessary and helpful at the time, but now they no longer serve you. Or maybe the restrictions that have been placed on you or that you have placed on yourself have instead been leashes holding you back from your true potential or dreams. So for all of us, the goal of this practice needs to first identify what are those binds that are holding you back from being your true, authentic self. I think that part of that is really ties into this because I think that those binds that have been holding me back from really truly promoting this book. I mean, I can't tell you how much I really believe that this book and these essays and this model and everything in this book is so helpful for people who are at the same point in the journey that I was when I started this process. And I really think it's all valuable. But the thing is that it makes me so uncomfortable to promote it and to push it on people. I don't really want to push it on people, but I know that they would be better off if they had it. So it's like, obviously I should be pushing it more. And I want I kind of do want to be validated a little bit that people want it, people buy it, people like it. But regardless, one of the restraints that I think has been holding me back is this discomfort that I have with self-promotion. And I've always had it. I've always had this trouble promoting anything that I do. I don't apply for awards. I get uncomfortable when people comment on things that I have done or have accomplished. And so that discomfort with self-promotion is not doing me any good here. And it's not doing anybody good who would benefit from having the book. So I think that I'm starting to get rid of those binds. It's actually interesting. You all know that I like things like oracle cards and crystals and stuff. And actually this morning, my oracle card was about that the binds are released. The leashes, the things that are tying me back have been released. And oh my gosh, that's really, really relevant. And I never even thought about that till right now. We don't need to be someone else. And we certainly don't need to be better than someone else. I used to be looking for the best version of myself, but I've realized that looking for the best implies that I need to improve, like there is something wrong as is. Instead, we need to look to see what would make us our favorite version of ourselves. I love to look at it that way. Like, I want to know what my favorite version of me is, because there is a version of me that I like a lot more than I like other versions of me. And I want to not only know who she is, but I want to be able to be who she is. In my reflections, I've determined that to be free and my favorite version of me, I need a freedom from the concepts of perfection and people pleasing, from the desire to constantly be doing the right thing or being who others want me to be. I want to feel authentic and to give myself permission to be imperfect, to grant myself grace, to release the need to be flawless and make everyone else happy. I think I am getting significantly better at releasing the need for perfection or to be flawless. I unfortunately do not think that I am getting any better at the need to make everyone around me happy. In fact, I think I've actually, if it's possible, gotten worse. So maybe that's something I need to work on. You may need freedom from worry and anxiety about the future, from the inability to be present and just enjoy today. Or maybe it's a freedom from the past wounds and scars that have left you emotionally damaged, past decisions that you wish you had done differently. Do you need freedom from always saying yes, even when you've reached your max, and instead allow others to figure it out on their own? Allow yourself to be free from having control over everything and allow yourself to sit in a bit of chaos. Or maybe you realize that it's certain people in your life, relationships that are holding you back. What thoughts or behaviors are constraints that no longer serve you? What would you be? Who would you be if you were truly free? And what is holding you back? Thank you so much for being here today and always. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did, and I can't wait to do the next one. So I'll see you next Wednesday for chapter 2. Bye.